Woody Hatten, we'll take an in-depth look at drag racing from start to finish and see some of the mishaps that often occur along the way. From Pomona, California, the birthplace of drag racing in 1951, to Englishtown, New Jersey, photographer and national columnist Woody Hatten was there and caught some of the most spectacular footage ever recorded on film. The films you are about to see were studied by the University of Southern California, and some of the footage appears in the film American Nitro. We hope you enjoy Valco's Best of Woody Hatten, Volume 4. The most critical part of any drag race is the start. It is here where drivers are required to heat the tires by means of what is called a burnout. When the temperature of the tire rises from spinning, the compounds become sticky, offering the greatest amount of traction when the car is launched from the starting line. During the burnout, the driver must concentrate on the feel of the car and listen for any problems that might be developing in the engine. After judging the amount of traction available, he then stages the car in the Krondeck starting system. 80% of drag races are won or lost on the starting line, with driver reaction the most critical part of the actual race itself. When traction is good and the car is properly set up, picture-perfect runs are experienced. But sometimes, because of tremendous horsepower generated by drag racing vehicles, mishaps do occur, even on routine burnouts. Les Cassidy had this problem at the NHRA's Summer Nationals at Englishtown, New Jersey. The damage was slight, but Cassidy still had handling problems when he made his qualifying run. Bob Mayer's Nightmare Duster Funny Car lived up to its name at the NHRA Winter Nationals. Mayer completely destroyed the high-dollar starting system and was through for the afternoon. The NHRA Spring Nationals was the scene of this final round confrontation between Raymond Beadle's Blue Max and Don Perdome's Army-backed Monza. Beadle's car was not seriously damaged. Fred Wells, however, saw his Sir Wells Dodge Charger experience this unfortunate crash. For Wells, this crash marked the end of his career, never returning to the sport. Attempted running a rear-engine funny car had nothing but problems at the AHRA Grand American held at Phoenix, Arizona. After his burnout, the car was plagued with engine problems and Zyla was unable to stage the car for round one action. His competition, Junior Thompson, soloed for the win in his Plymouth Satellite Funny. So, for Zyla and crew, the day at Phoenix was over, but they had the Winter Nationals to look forward to a week later at Pomona. But the Winter Nationals turned into a disaster during his first qualifying attempt. Zyla emerged unhurt from the terrifying crash thanks to the sturdy roll cages that are mandatory in most of drag racing classes. The car, however, was less fortunate, although the body was relatively unharmed. In reviewing the crash, Zyla's car, which was not equipped with wheelie bars, got away from him before he could react, and the roll cage took more than one direct hit with the asphalt. Photos of this crash appeared in many national racing publications, including National Speed Sport News, which is primarily an oval track publication, and the National Enquirer, the largest circulation newspaper in America. At the U.S. Nationals, Indianapolis, Gary Beck had a wheel come loose at the starting line, but was able to keep the car straight. The wheel went through the timers at 9.19 seconds. And back at Englishtown, Bob LaRegina's Wild A altered almost tipped over and then veered into the other lane. Quick driver reaction on the part of his competitor saved LaRegina from a certain crash. Phoenix, Arizona, former home of the AHRA Winter Nationals, was the scene of a wild and woolly ride by Stan Bowman, driving the former California stud Vega panel wagon. It was this run that almost ended the careers of some of the sport's finest photographers, who had to jump to safety to avoid being hit by the errant Vega, which, surprisingly, never overturned. At the Spring Nationals in Columbus, Ohio, Dale Emery, driving for Gene Snow, who was recuperating from a back operation, faced off with Phil Castronova's custom body Dodge with Tom Prock at the wheel. With Emery ahead nearing the lights, Prock experienced one of the most severe explosions of the event. His car was very badly burned, but there were no injuries to Tom Prock. At the Gator Nationals, John Tarzan Austin, driving Greg Scheiger's hot tuna top fueler, had the clutch explode, resulting in this terrifying moment. The car did a complete 180, landing near the guardrail, and Austin emerged unhurt. Pro Comp racer Kenny Winward had this experience when an axle broke at the Little Guy National Open in Suffolk, Virginia. Kenny emerged shaken and was luckily uninjured in the violent crash. Blower explosions and engine fires are common in drag racing, as Gary Beck shows here with a motor explosion during the running of the NHRA Summer Nationals. Many times, accidents occur at mid-track. Doug Moody in the Canadian-based Rentex Corvette gets out of shape. Moody did emerge with minor injuries, but sadly, he was paralyzed from the waist down in an accident just a few weeks later. Lovely Linda Vaughn and the Hurstettes are a commonplace at all NHRA national events. The WCS points meet at Englishtown produced this action: an unsuspecting gremlin owner oiling the tires and then losing it in the traps. Dan Horan's front engine top fueler launching an engine in the traps at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Horan was not injured. The Cassidy brothers lifting a blower at Maryland International Raceway. The blower actually stuck into the windshield. Top-end mishaps sometimes happen far down track, as Boston's Kosti Ivanov loses a body after completing his run. One of the most talked about runs in drag racing was this run between Shirley Muldowney and the Kulan Olsen top fueler with Rick Ramsey at the wheel. It was amazing that Ramsey was able to bring the car back to the ground safely, coming back from near the point of no return. The Paisano and Matsubara funny car, shown here at Phoenix, has experienced many fires and crashes. It is said that the Paisano and Matsubara car is the most trouble-plagued car in drag racing. Jake Johnstone, the driver, brought the car to a safe stop. At Columbus, Ohio, Bronx schoolteacher Tony Serralo experienced this violent engine explosion during Top Fuel qualifying. He was not injured. The Valvoline Oil Company is well represented at NHRA national events by Melanie Vincennes. One of the most feared teams in funny car racing was the Dale Emery Mike Burkhart Camaro, which won more than its fair share of national races. The funnies not only ran fast, but also looked just as good. The Emery-Burkhart team came to an end, however, after this hair-raising run at the U.S. Nationals. A great amount of praise must be given to the NHRA Safety Safari for handling this unfortunate incident. Luckily, Emery, who stands 6'6", received only a broken arm and was back at the track the next day in good spirits. It seems fitting to end this volume with none other than the king of drag racing himself, Big Daddy Don Garlits, as he experiences one of his rare engine explosions. Valco will continue to offer drag racing fans a chance to witness some of drag racing's greatest moments. We hope you have enjoyed Volume 4 of Valco's Best of Woody Hatten.